What's up, my 1111 YouTube friends? Out in the shop. I'm going to do a little update video with you guys today. Cheers. Haven't had much to show. Trenton and I have been busy getting everything ready to paint or powder coat. So it really hasn't been much to show at all because we've spent over a week now just trying to get everything ready. And I dropped all the stuff off at the sandblaster about a week and a half ago, and I just went and picked that up. But we've been working on the chassis, kind of straightening them out and the dimple dying, and they had to put the coolers onto the 440 chassis. I had to rebuild this one suspension mount. This is a bad design. This is the mount I had to rebuild right here. So the bolt goes through here, through the end of the trailing arm, through a bearing, to a nut back here. Over here's the nut. Horrible design because unless you lube that thing on a regular basis, this bolt is going to rust solid into the bushing, into that bearing, become one mass together. And then you have to cut everything apart in here to get it all back apart. And this one was this whole half was rusted and just gnarly as hell. So I cut it down here and made all this stuff new. Here's the old part. All this is new. New bushings going through. You can't buy this piece, obviously. And I feel that every one of them out there is going to be in the same condition this was, so I might as well just rebuild the one I have. But she's looking minty now. Yeah, I'm really happy with the way it turned out. I put a lot of hours into that thing. On this side doesn't quite have that problem. That side over there is the belt side. So I think that's why it gets so dried out. This side is from the chain case side. Well, everybody, when they change their chain case or change gears, it all leaks down and leaks everywhere around in this area. So this bolt area ends up with oil in there somehow. So I would suggest if you have this type of suspension, is to flip your sled over a couple times a year and spray some kind of lubricant down in here. So this will stay freed up because you'll never be able to take the bolt out. And it is a freaking chore to even get a wrench down in here to get to the net to be able to run the bolt out. So this side I lucked out with, this side came apart. That side was a rusted up disaster that I had to repair. And it's just part of doing it. But yeah, that was a sucky repair. It took many hours. I sent out a picture to a few of my Facebook buds. And yeah, they got to see it in progress of what was going on with that repair. And no fun at all. We got part sled over here. Trenton's been working feverishly on it, get it sanded, and get all the coolers all riveted back in. I brought it to my decal lady. She took pictures of the decal on the side of the tunnel so she can reduplicate it, and so she has those pictures. I brought her the hoods and stuff too. She looked at the hoods, said, yep, this is going to be able to, I can make it happen. So I have to paint the hoods first before she will do the decal work, because she's going to actually do each decal one at a time and fit it onto the new hood. So she wants them painted because she's actually going to put them on for me. So paint the chassis this weekend. So that was our main drive, was to try and get the chassis done. And also on part sled, we had to move the rear suspension mounts back because I'm putting a 136 skid in here. So we had to move the rear mount back to here to accommodate that 136 skid. I picked up a sweet 1.25" track for it. Bought it used off a marketplace. Great deal on it. Trenton's got this rod started in here. This is something that we've done for many years. We used to do it to our old TXs when we'd restore our TXs because the tunnels on them were notorious for getting bent. So I used to drive this 1/2" aluminum rod down through the edge of all my tunnels. Trenton's when he finished installing this rod, this one's actually going to go in pretty easy. We've already got it set. Slide it out once so we can see the end of the rod once, Trenton. So I grind a little point onto it. And what you want to do, you want to grind that, a nice point on the end of it there. And on this one, it actually kind of locks into the end of this rod right in here. Right into here. It kind of locked right into the steel rod that holds your rear trailing arm. That's already into the tunnel. So it kind of drove it right into there. But this helps stiffen up the side of your tunnel by driving this rod down through there. And then I'll just drill in a couple spots and just put a couple rivets into that rod to kind of hold it in place. And it only takes like an 1/8" rivet. It doesn't take much. It's just to keep it from sliding out. But you can see Trenton just kind of pushed this one in by hand. He's going to drive it in towards the end here. lost his punch. Oh, it's right there with the vice grip off of it. There you go. See how it kind of drove right into there? So that helps stiffen up the side of the tunnel. I'd recommend everybody doing that. Like I said, we've been doing that for years. And you buy a 12-foot stick of it. And cut it, what were they, about 42 inches or something right around there, Trenton? Oh, okay. He actually held it up and just made a mark. He didn't actually measure it. But anyways, you can usually get 3 pieces out of 1 rod. And it's like I said, we've been doing that for years to help stiffen up the edge of the tunnel. Let's look at all the powder coating that we have ready to go. A-Blast in East Bethel, Minnesota did all the blasting for us. I have a ton of parts here. I said this in the other video that I had a ton ready to go. And this is going to be, Trenton, want to run out to my truck and grab the chips? I got still plenty of video to do yet, but so this is going to be a purple. This is going to be black. And this is all going to be magenta, I think, is that color on the Ultras. Trenton's going to go grab the color chips. But I'm going to go drop that off at a big powder coating place that I actually use for work. It's a big industrial place. And they actually, this is a stock color for them. So it's going to actually be cheaper to have a place like that run it than some other places that I usually use, because it's a stock color and they just run it right through their line. And all that there is going to be fairly inexpensive by going that route. So it's something to think about if you're doing a bunch of powder coating. Check for some larger companies around you that actually have, no, they're sitting on the front seat. They're on the passenger seat. But check with larger companies in your area and see if they have stock colors that they run. And usually you can save some money by going that route, is having a larger company run it as one of their stock colors. I'll show you all the engine parts we have all set, cleaned up, ready to go. The camper project is actually a storage shed right now for all the engine parts. Look at everything in here. Everything is clean. Those cylinders are ported, ready to go on. That's for part sled. Everything over there is for 2-bag. Carbs, the engine halves, everything is ready to go. I sent the cylinder up to Northern Cylinder Head. They bored it. And now he's doing a little bit of magic work in the ports for me too. So here's the ultra color that I'm going to use on that one pile that's going to be for part sled. That'll be the magenta, I think that's called. There's the black I'm going to be using. Kind of a satin semi-gloss black. I think gloss is almost too shiny, so I like to go with that little bit off. And that's the purple we're going to use on all the XLT. That's pretty close to an XLT purple. That's as close as I can get. So all the purple stuff will be that. What else do we got, Trenton? That's about it. Man, we're sending the shock bodies off to a guy in Wisconsin. And after I get them back, I told him I'd pimp them up a little bit, but we got all the shock bodies. Eric, the shock guy, took apart all my shocks and gave me the bodies, but all these will get all new zinc plated on them. And we'll put the new stickers and stuff on. I got a variety of shocks here. Some are for saving it. I'm putting all Fox shocks on saving it. And then there's a set of zinc shocks there. It's going to go on 2-bag. And then the ones that are going on part sled are going to be white, because that's what they would have been on an Ultra SPX. The bodies would have been white. So I'm going to do them zinc on 2-bag, because in 94 XLT would have had zinc plated shocks, but plus in 99 they ran the zinc plated shocks on that chassis anyway. So got the belly pans in here doing some test fitting to make sure we weren't riveting holes before they needed to be. I got to paint the side bumpers on that belly pan black. So this weekend is a paint weekend. A lot is going to happen this weekend. Yeah, I think once things are painted, powder coated, and we start bolting things together, things are going to look a lot more exciting. I'll have a lot more video stuff to do, and then I have 4 engines to build. And I think I'm going to do a build series on each engine, and one of them being that monoblock XLT. That'll be a fun build. I've never done one. I'm going to go through everything that I've done as far as to build that engine. And everything. I dropped off my pipes today for a part sled at the pipe doctor, and he's going to, there's some dents in the pipes. He's going to stretch them all back out, and then I'll be bringing them to Race Coatings to get the ceramic coat done on those set of pipes. And the set of pipes for 2-bag are done. I have them over at Race Coatings right now, and Clinton over there just called me today, said those pipes are ready to pick up. So A lot of stuff is happening. Not much to show on a video, so a lot of things are going on right now as far as moving these things, these two sleds forward. The next couple of weeks, like I said, there'll be some really, really exciting videos in because things will be starting to go back together. And then we'll actually start to see what things are going to be looking like. So thanks for watching, everybody. And stay tuned. In a couple of weeks, we'll have all kinds of stuff to see then. Cheers.